Alright, what is going on, my dudes? We are back here today with a Horseman video that surprisingly has been requested quite a bit ever since Apocalypse first came out. And I wasn't planning on making this video, but then I realized, I have a rank through Omega Red, and it's requested so often that why don't we just go ahead and jump in and start doing some Horseman content with Omega Red, because maybe I've missed something, alright? Because when we look at our Horseman abilities, we look at what? They become bleed resistant. Omega Red already has that, alright? They have 30% increased offensive ability accuracy. Alright, so for the most part, the only thing that Omega Red relies on for ability accuracy is his tentacle attacks going unblockable when they're above 10 spores, right? That's in his SIG ability here. Let's check it out. So in the SIG ability, Omega Red's basic tentacle hits have a 30% chance to be unblockable. So is that going to be a little bit increased? Yeah, I think so. So that could be kind of okay. Another really great thing that the Horsemen, all of them get, the first time you take a hit, you go passively unstoppable. That's for sure going to be good for Omega Red. That's going to be good for anybody. And another thing is that they get a pretty beefy prowess. I believe it's a 50% prowess. Now, that's actually not going to be as good for Omega Red as you might think, because very, very often I finish fights anywhere without using a single special 2. So while the prowess certainly does seem nice in theory, we're going to see how useful it actually is in reality, okay? Of course, the special 2 will hit pretty hard with that prowess, and that is why we brought along Wolverine, so that we can have plus 120% critical damage rating, when we're at 30 spores, as well as the synergy for 6% plus attack between Wolverine and Sabretooth, okay? So that's why we brought that team along, but with all that being said, we're going to go into Winter Soldier here. We'll probably see a special 2 or maybe 3 against such a high health pool, but in most normal content where we're going to test him out, we're not really going to be seeing that prowess in action, okay? So the thing is here, man, where I usually like to test Horseman out, Omega Red is already pretty much better than those Horsemen, even on his own, okay? So we're going to go in here, we're going to make her have the sound on, we do, and then I'm going to build up to 30 spores as soon as I can. We're going to stay very, very aggressive, and as you can see, we went unblockable there with that medium attack because we were above 10 spores, and, like I said, we're going to have a higher percent chance to have that happen, and we're going to go for a special 2 here in just a second, alright? So we're going to see that prowess in action here. We also have 25 spores on Bucky, and let's see. Alright, we didn't crit on the last bit of the special 2, but that's okay. We went unblockable on the medium attack again. Stay really close to him. That unstoppable, that's very nice to have there. See that? But there's another unblockable. We'll go for a special 2 again, see if we can see a big crit at 30 spores. No crit again, unfortunately, but another, I thought we went unblockable, but it was just the death field there. But as you can see, we're ending this fight very, very quickly here. We tried a double medium to see if we'd go unblockable. We didn't, but Bucky just dropped dead. So I was rambling for what? Let's see, we've been recording for 3 minutes, probably in this fight for about 45 seconds or so, 60 hits in, and that's about how fast Omega Red did it, not as a Horseman, okay? So we tossed off 2 or 3 special 2s there. We definitely didn't need to do the third one for sure, but we did it to try and get a big beefy special 2, alright? So usually what I do with mutant champions as a Horseman is I go into like this quest over here, 6.3.6, and I jump over to the Caltrops lane, okay? And why do I do that? I jump over to the Caltrops lane because all mutants become 100% resistant to bleed, and that's some absolutely incredible utility, and that is easily by far my favorite thing about the Horseman abilities. Now, why is that? Because it pretty much makes every mutant suicide friendly, at least to some degree. It also makes them have a lot more utility when it comes to biohazard or Caltrops lanes, similar to this one. And the thing with Omega Red is that as long as you have 1 point in Coagulate, you're pretty much going to be able to do all of these things automatically, and you're going to be healing from the bleeds, and you're going to be activating Death Field with all of the bleeds, and essentially in this fight, you're not going to see anything from Omega Red that you wouldn't see normally, okay? So at this point, so far, we haven't even gone unblockable with one of our medium attacks. We haven't thrown a special attack yet, right? And like I said, one thing that we're going to see some benefit from is that prowess, for sure. But so far, we haven't used a special attack. We're just relying on our degen, okay? We're dashing back for Caltrops, and what that's doing is it's placing a bleed on us, and yeah, this would be happening and we're healing from it, and that would happen with any other mutant as a horseman, but at the same time, Omega Red has that in his kit on his own. So we got through this entire fight without seeing a single benefit from being a horseman, okay? Literally zero benefit in that fight, 100% zero. There wasn't a single thing, because we didn't get hit to go passively unstoppable. None of our medium attacks were unblockable, from what I saw at least. I may have missed one or two, but keep in mind it happens not as a horseman as well. We didn't throw a single special attack for the prowess, and we're already resistant to bleed, okay? So let's see, where else do we go to test out horsemen? Sometimes I jump into 6.4.1 here, and I go for the biohazard and falter lane, okay? So let's check this out. Now, Omega Red is an absolutely incredible character to use on biohazard, and why is that? Because let's just cut to the chase, and we won't say it every time, but Omega Red is a top option to use whenever there are bleeds. One of the only couple of champions that I would say are better than him when there are consistent bleeds are Ghost, because of the passive Fury, and believe it or not, I would say Horseman Cable might be the best champion to use when there are consistent bleeds. I'm talking like Ketonish Thorns, I'm talking about Caltrops, Biohazard to an extent, depending on RNG, but for Biohazard, I think I would go with Omega Red before I go with Cable. But here, as you can see, we're just going to do the same thing here, and of course, Omega Red is better than most mutants on this path, because if, you hit into the block with most any other mutants, we're going to go ahead and get that poison on us, but with Omega Red, he's also 100% immune to poison. So we can go ahead and bash into the opponent here. That path of Unstoppable is very nice. So there, to stay close to Thor, we saw a little bit of a benefit from being a horseman. There, I saw a nice, juicy benefit there. That was a very big special 2 with a nice prowess. So here, as opposed to the last lane, I didn't see anything that Omega Red couldn't do solo. I feel like Thor would have died in the same, time frame right after that special 2, but I absolutely saw an increase in damage on that special 2 when it all crit, and keep in mind we have Wolverine to help us out with attack damage and also crit rate damage, okay? So here we have the Stealth Spidey. We're going to start off just like normal. Stealthy has a much smaller health pool than Thor, and we already had him evade, and at this point, we got about 25 spores locked in. We got another bleed on us, and this guy is just ticking right down, all right? Can we get a parry here? Yes, we can. Boom, boom. And this was another fight where we saw absolutely zero benefit from being a horseman. We also got through the fight in 15 hits. So here's the thing with Omega Red. If his damage per second wasn't one of the highest in the game, I think we would see, more of a benefit from being a horseman. And keep in mind, I am using a 6-star rank 3, Sig 200, so that definitely is a little bit better than a 5-star out of, an average Sig. But at the same time, man, this is the strongest Omega Red we could possibly have in the game, and that's what we're testing out here, okay? So, the thing is, it's like, yeah, he's mauling through this, and the increased crit damage on the special attacks from the prowess, and the ability to go right there, the ability to go passively unstoppable is very nice. It's a nice failsafe. But, when I use my horseman, okay, also that's nice as well, with the, in case we ever throw the special one, having a little bit more damage there, because it usually doesn't do too much damage, so that's pretty nice. But what, I typically use my horseman for is, I make a champion a horseman when I want increased ability accuracy, for example, Archangel, okay? I want, Archangel very much so relies on RNG. Parry, heavy, alright? There's a percent chance to put a bleed on the opponent offensively, okay? There's a percent chance to convert a poison debuff into a neurotoxin with a heavy attack or any attack, right? So with Apocalypse, you have increased ability accuracy. Absolutely incredible benefit for Archangel. A champion like Sunspot, for example, gains bleed immunity, okay? Becomes a little bit more suicide friendly, and at the same time, he's unblockable the entire fight. He's unblockable because whenever a champion purifies debuffs, they're going to go, the mutant is going to go unblockable. That's another horseman ability I don't think I mentioned up until this point. So that's very useful for a champion like Sunspot. You're pretty much unblockable the entire fight. There's nothing of Omega Red that the champion purifies. So we don't benefit from that either here. So I make a champion a horseman when I want increased special damage. If a champion relies on special attack damage like Colossus or Magneto, okay? Or offensive ability accuracy like Archangel, or the ability to really benefit from Horseman like Sunspot, where you could be unblockable the entire fight. When it comes to Omega Red, okay? He's not an RNG dependent champion. And that is why, at the end of the day, Omega Red is my favorite champion in the game, or at least one of them, okay? Because you always know what you're going to get with Omega Red, and he works for just about every single defender in the game, aside from robots. And that's where Magneto comes in. But, point is, Omega Red, I will say, is the better mutant than just about any other champion in the game. On his own, with Sabretooth, even above any champion as a horseman. Let's throw a special 2, see if we get a crit. We didn't, that's alright. But that passive Unstoppable is very nice to have. Alright, so we've used Omega Red as a horseman quite a bit here, and I think we've established the fact here that, you know, he doesn't benefit from any of the horseman abilities, which is fine, because he's such a beast on his own that if anything, that's a plus for Omega. So here's my thing when it comes to horseman abilities. I don't see the need to bring along Apocalypse and Cable only to make Omega Red a horseman. Do I see the need to do that for Archangel? I don't see the need to do it, but I see the benefit. Do I see the benefit for Magneto? Yes. For Colossus? Yes. For Sunspot? Absolutely. For Cable? I would say Cable needs it. Okay? Benefits very highly from Apocalypse's synergy, of course. So, Omega Red, I would say, is the best mutant in the game, in my personal opinion, and I would say there are other champions who benefit much, much, much greater than Omega Red does from being a horseman, alright? So, all that being said, the horseman ability is definitely nice to have on Omega Red, but it's definitely not needed. Okay, so we did some testing on Omega Red as a horseman. I don't see myself making this guy a horseman for any content anytime soon. Definitely won't be doing it in Alliance War. Definitely won't be doing it in AQ. And yeah, man. So I think that's going to be it for this horseman video. I do hope you guys enjoyed it. I kind of enjoyed testing out Omega Red as a horseman. This was actually my first time ever using him as a horseman in any form of content. It pretty much went exactly as I expected. It was nice to see the special 2 crit a little bit higher once or twice, and to have that passive Unstoppable as a failsafe. So he definitely has some nice to have abilities when you're trying to stay very aggressive with the opponent. But at the end of the day, Omega Red is such a beast on his own, he just doesn't need the horseman abilities. So, with all that being said, if you enjoyed watching this Omega Red Rank 3 Sig 200 horseman video, do your boy a favor and drop a big ol' like, comment what you think about Omega Red as a horseman in the comment section below, and subscribe if you want to see some more horseman gameplay videos coming to you very, very soon. I'll be seeing you around.